Good morning, Illuvium. Hello, welcome. Hope everyone's having a great morning, great afternoon, evening, whatever have you. Morning on my end here, but I know this is a worldwide game and it's absolutely awesome to be a part of. My name is Silent. I'm going to be, of course, here welcoming you to my channel here for yet another live stream here scheduled. Just kind of changing up the format of how I have things shaped up. I am not by any means the greatest of graphic designers, but I wanted something a little bit different. So if this is your first time here, welcome. You came at a good time. If you're a returning viewer, hopefully I gave you something a little bit prettier to look at than just my face. But with the way it's going today, got quite a lot to talk about. Of course, having these Wednesday streams allows me to go over a bunch of different tournaments with the way that it ends up lining up. So I can't complain about that. Of course, you can see on the left-hand side here, we got the Tempest Leviathan tournament that just took place. We'll go over the results of that. Not listed there because I ran out of boxes already. Dreamers Esports also did have their community tournaments as well as it's getting close to the conclusion of their Dream Ladder. It's not necessarily something that I've touched on a bunch so far this season, but I'll take a look at it and see how it's going since it moved to its paid subscription model. And of course, this weekend coming up, IPL 500, one of the bigger ones here for Illuvium, coming around the corner. One of the bigger ones, and of course as a part of our 2 weeks of what is going to be likely the toughest competition for Illuvium, with the IPL 500 starting this weekend, and then the next weekend, IPL 1000, the first of those around the corner, with the biggest prize pools and biggest amount of points that you can earn for a non grand finals style event or end of season event. Of course, after that, once we see how much time we have left here, I'll be hopping into my Illuvium Zero. We fired off a couple of projects, a couple of things that we were shooting for in the last stream, and you can see what the results end up looking like there. And then lastly, we shall be hopping into a ranked match. Probably get one, maybe two if we're lucky. We'll see. I like going quick, but I don't want to speed run and make sure that I give everything the time that it is due. Of course, I have the chat windows open here for every platform that we happen to be live on, so by all means, you're more than welcome to fire any questions, any comments, anything you want to say in the chats. I can absolutely see, but it is not a mandatory thing, by all means. It's just there if you want it. I'm just happy that you're here. And of course, I locked my cat in the studio, so sorry, I will be 1 second. Otherwise, you'll be hearing meowing for the next couple minutes. My cat wanted to be a commentator apparently today. Sorry about that. But of course, where were we? Again, if we have time later on, of course, we do have ranked play, and then like I was saying before, I have all chats available, but it is just a feature, not mandatory. Again, I'm just happy that you're here with me here on this Wednesday morning. Without further ado, double check one more time, make sure I got my ducks in a row here. All right. Thank you for bearing with me. First things first, we're going to take a look at the Tempest Esports, or the Tempest Gaming Leviathan tournament that was sponsored by Illuvium as well. The idea with this one, similar fashion to how the IPL works, but they had their qualifiers, their sit-and-goes on Monday. I think they had the 2 time slots that you can try and compete. But of course, with it being Leviathan, this means that you're using the Illuvials that you own to play in the battlefield. Otherwise, if you don't have those Illuvials caught, they just show up as level 1 on your bench, so you'll be at a significant stat disadvantage. Of course, it's not the main ranked game mode, because of course Illuvium Arena is free to play and you can hop into the gauntlet at any time and be on the same competitive footing in the standard ranked mode. Just don't go into Leviathan. But for those that have caught a bunch of alluvials and are your top tier Illuvium trainers, rangers of sorts if you want to call them, they had their competition. Winnie Monarch won last week. Was definitely due for some good luck, but this week it looks like things have changed up just a little bit differently here. I slide on over, it looks like Web3 Gaming TV finds themselves on the winner's side of things this time. $250 going into their pockets alongside the grand tournament points. With Sota, of course, one of our winner from IPL, I believe, last week. And then Potate's getting themselves up there, and that's your podium. The one thing that I think even Illuvium themselves kind of showed up was that is a all-hype podium, all-hype top 5. Hyperion coming in clutch here and showing why so many people want to end up joining them, because they have the top-of-the-line players, at least most consistently, as of right now. Of course, Web3 finding the W. Potate, you can never sleep on Potate. Gets the second place spot. Sota, of course, a past IPL winner. Slicks, a 2-time IPL winner. And then Hollow's been very consistent as well. Anywhere from top 16s to grand finals and IPLs, and doing a fantastic job here in the grand final of the Leviathan tournament. Grand short to follow, still got plenty of players. Hosh 1, that's a new name to me, but from Team Atlas getting on the board. Squawk and Pashok from Team Monarch. Scorpion Zada, Alnert, and Olin Nariba. Zico Perico, Kirito Hype, Not Complain Hype, Axel, and Badul to kind of wrap up our top 16. But still, of course, plenty of players. 32 specifically qualified for Tuesday's event. But of course, big congratulations to Web3 Gaming on the victory. That is definitely a huge one. And the way that the actual end of season tournament works for them, this is going to be all of those points from all these tournaments combined into an end of season event. And as of this moment, Web3 Gaming TV is going to end up leading the charge alongside Soda and Hollow. But the main thing is, for this section here, is making it into that top 16. You want to be in the final end of season event, and to get there, you got to get that 16th spot or better. So Zico Perico and Scorpion Zada, they're the ones on the hot seat as of this moment. And some players that I can imagine probably giving them a run for the money still. Like, don't sleep on Texan, don't sleep on Stinky Pinky. Axel, we've seen half times of popping off, absolutely. I'm a Fishy has been very, very strong in IPL for Gauntlet. Just maybe a matter of leveling up a couple of alluvials, and they'll be right into the swing of things, I'm sure. Lynx, PQP, Kirito, Not Complain. Like, granted, a lot of these players down near the bottom still need a lot of points, but as we can see from the results, you do get quite a bit from placing like 10th onward. So you can absolutely make up this gap very, very quickly. So especially those in the bottom half here of this qualified section, so say from like Hosh onward. Everybody here, I'd still be nervous. And I believe there's only maybe 2 or 3 more tournaments left to go in the series, so it'll be interesting to look and watch as the events go on. Again, I keep forgetting the name of the person who does the stream for them exactly. I will pull that up in just a second as I break everything trying to give them the shoutouts. Storming, yes. I will remember that. I promise. But yes, Storming H is the one who does all the streaming there for the Tempest Leviathan tournaments. So make sure you have them followed. I believe majority of their work is on Twitch, so be sure to follow them there so you can watch the tournaments happen live. But if you do not happen to see it, don't worry, I'll do my best to recap the results at least here after the fact. Now, with that part being completed here, still going to be, again, looking forward to seeing how the Leviathan tournament does end up shaping up. Leviathan could and still is kind of the core of where I imagine that the players kind of want to see Illuvium go. I'm sure Illuvium themselves want to put more emphasis as well on the value of the Illuvials as well. So the Arena Gauntlet, while it is perfect to be able to get like new players interested, but I know personally I can see a world where Leviathan kind of takes more of a heavier role. I'll kind of touch on that a little bit more in a little bit in a later topic, but in the meantime, of course, the Daydream community tournaments happened yesterday as well, the free ones that anybody could enter. I'll hop on over to that as well, right here, there we go. And I think we have ourselves a new winner. This is the first time I feel like I've seen Unhappy find themselves in victory lane of sorts, getting the win in this tournament, followed up by Not Complain and Fancy Pants. And then in terms of the rest of the top 8, it's a lot of the familiar suspects, with the exception of Mito. Good to see Mito having a top 5 finish, getting 4th in this one. But your usual favorites, your Narkesh, your Detective Alanaves in there, Kirbasov getting into the top 8 as well, and Coyote Hype finding themselves into the top 8 as well. And while we're talking about Dreamers, I do want to give the quick touch on the ladder itself. While I was just talking about free to enter stuff, this ladder is not. That is something that did change just this month, I believe. Here for Dreamers Esports, you do have to buy their Dream Pass in order to have access to the ladder, which is a mix between Illuvium and Teamfight Tactics. So as we're going to see in this one here, like we've seen Mujiwara, I think, play in the first season of Illuvium Arena with Teamfight Tactics, but otherwise they've been pretty much just playing TFT and scoring the points. Arzu I do not recognize as well, so unfortunate there. But then you do see a couple of our Illuvium community members. Detective Alanay is up there, TFT Ricky. Even though it has TFT in the name, I do see them play a lot of Illuvium as well. And Sacred Norse I'm not familiar with. There's Unhappy, Amafishy, and Arkesh. And of course the Dream Ladder at the end of this season does give you a USDC payout. Going to be shown on the right hand side here, right by my camera box. You can kind of see what they're all playing for. Pricing all the way down to 15th, with 11th to 15th basically just paying for your pass. But a little bit more for those who score higher, with 100 bucks being the top prize. Especially with the free-to-play tournaments anyway for Dreamers, I still do recommend that people who might be just getting into Illuvium on the competitive side, give one of these free ones a try before maybe trying a IPL, or you could just go from 0 to 100 and go into IPL. But if you want to kind of practice beforehand and just kind of get used to what the tournament format kind of looks like, I do still recommend hopping into a Dreamers Esports free-to-play tournament, which are on Tuesdays. Alright, next up. So, of course, I was kind of touching on a little bit earlier that the next IPL events, the Illuvium Pro League, this weekend is going to be a IPL 500. So what does that entail? This one is a little bit higher, a little bit heavier on the amount of points given, but as well as the amount of prizing given. And at the same time, more people can qualify through the sit and goes and such. So if I hop on over here one more time, we have 2 time slots here for the sit and goes, but the top 24 are going to make it on through to the main event on Saturday, with the grand finals itself, I believe, being standalone on Sunday. So if you do make it all the way, you are going to have to put in the grind this weekend. You got 2, possibly 3 days of competing ahead of you. But of course, the prizing and the points to get yourself maybe into that end of season tournament is absolutely huge. So it's a good opportunity to get started with, and I imagine the format here is going to be relatively similar to what we'll see next week for the IPL 1000. In terms of what I'm going to personally be doing, Saturday and Sunday, the plan is a stream. Hold on 1 second. Bless the mute button, my goodness, okay. But sorry, my plans for the IPL 500, I have been asked to be one of the commentators on board once again. I imagine it's going to be the same combination, myself, Paz, and Caveman going to be casting this one. Still been having a ton of fun casting with those guys, and I've been really enjoying and having the opportunity to cast so much Illuvium for Illuvium. It's absolutely insane. I'll be casting for them on Sunday. But then Saturday, I will be doing coverage of the early stages of the IPL 500 as well, but that will be on my personal channel right here. So kind of similar to the last IPL 500 will be the plan here today or this weekend. All right. In regards to some community news, in terms of patches or anything along those lines, all has been pretty quiet. All the patches have just been for stability, just knocking out some bugs and like any sort of crashes or anything along those lines, which Illuvium has been quick on trying to tackle. But the one thing that has a lot of people speculating and wanting more elaboration on, myself included, I am very, very curious as to where this goes. But CEO, I believe, one of the co-founders, Kieran Warwick, on X, just posting 3 words that drove everybody nuts. Fight for ETH. And that basically stirred up the storm of sorts with the Illuvium community, figuring out what exactly does this entail. I know Fight for ETH is actually a Twitter profile. I'm not sure if it's owned by Illuvium or not, or if it's just an individual, but before that was the case. But even with the original website, I remember seeing Fight for ETH was like a tagline of sorts. But what does this get to speculating on? And the one person that has kind of did a bit of a deep dive in for their own speculation has been Scoriox, of course, going on and is a little bit more heavier into the crypto ecosystem than I personally am, because of course, again, I come from the average gamer who's maybe a little bit above average in terms of a competitive player, or like in terms of your average player who's a little bit of competitive in nature. But like, I wouldn't call myself a professional gamer by any means, but I also wouldn't call myself a crypto bro. Like, the only reason I knew that crypto existed was because of Illuvium in the first place. I learned how to do like crypto transactions and whatnot because of Illuvium. I am not going to be here to analyze anything in regards to the coins or anything like that. There are many, many people much more qualified than me to talk about coins or any sort of cryptos, and personally, that's not what I do this for. I do this for the game. I do not give a shit about your crypto coins. But going into this here, so this was something that was getting asked about a little bit throughout the Illuvium Discord, and it scares me a little bit, but I kind of at the same time understand why they would want something like this done by Illuvium themselves, because what I'm looking at here, they're talking about wagering crypto in your Illuvium matches. So I'm very, very curious because, of course, the thing that drove me to Illuvium in the first place was Ascendant mode. So it was a one-on-one game mode in the Illuvium arena. That's not around anymore, but how would you do the wager otherwise? Would you wager kind of like a poker table where like everybody antes in and plays an 8-player game? And then at the same time, is there going to be any sort of regulations kind of involved? Anytime any sort of gambling does get involved, it does kind of scare me a little bit, but at the same time, esports, like we have tournaments with entry fees. What's the difference between having an entry fee for your tournament per se and then having your entry fee for a game? Let's go over what Skoriox was saying before I go over a little bit more. So they're talking about, I'll essentially leave this here for a second, but in terms of where they are, like located in Dubai or whatnot, like I'm not knowledgeable enough to tackle that, to be completely fair with you. But here's what I'm curious about. So risk to earn is trendy. Now, to a certain extent, I might be a little bit out of the loop, but risk to learn is also very scary to get into. So I hope we don't all in on this. Only sustainable learning system in any video game ever. Worked for poker, why not do it to video games? I kind of, or hearing Skoriox talk about poker has kind of popped it into my mind. So that's fair. Is it the only sustainable system? I'm not 100% sure on that one. I feel like that might be wrong, but I don't have the evidence to prove that, so I cannot dispute as of this moment. Inherently giving alluvials value. So yeah, this will definitely put a lot more weight onto alluvials if that does end up being the case. And then in regards to revenue. Now here's the part that actually scares the hell out of me. So I understand wanting to have a wager system. I come from like past work in esports for over, I think 12, 13 years now, and a lot of my experience did come from the fighting game community and like Super Smash Brothers. And what the heck does that have anything to do with this? So people would come for the original tournament, but once they got knocked out, it would be very common for that, hey yo, money match, who wants a money match? And people would have like put $1 on a one-on-one match. So I understand wanting it, and I understand if Illuvium were not to have some sort of system in the game, other people would find a way to get it into the game, so to speak. Third-party websites or something along the lines, community members would be able to do it. But if the Leviathan Arena has 200 players and they pay too much matches a day with a $10 entry fee, this is where I get nervous. Because when I first initially read this, I was figuring this was for ranked as a whole, and I was thinking to myself, oh god, if you put ranked behind a wager system, you're gonna have no players. Nobody's gonna try this. However, part of me does kind of like the idea of Leviathan being the mode that you go to for a wager match of sorts. I would try to keep the thing low, but like if you were to say, let's just say in an example where they took Leviathan as a whole and turned that into the wagering queue, so to speak. Like you'd always have to speculate like how much does each person have to put in, because too little, obviously the winners aren't making anything. Too high, it's too hard to get into. How does this get done? Do you do it with fuel? How do you do it? How does Fight for ETH become a part of this? There's a lot kind of boggling my mind when I think about it. But I know personally, at least, if Leviathan got turned into a wager mode, this way that in order to get the like the competitive advantage for owning your alluvials will give you the better opportunity at actually earning. Or you can say, if you're being silly like me or something like I would do for content, like can I make money playing completely free to play almost in Leviathan, only playing the entry fee? There's a chance I could strike fourth or something and like make a little bit. It gives at least the players the option. I just hope that the entire game does not go into a wager system, because then getting people to begin with would be a struggle. The last thing too as well, they mention, or Square specifically mentions here, the MMO having a competitive portion as well, which is not necessarily something I had thought about, but it would be really cool. They say here, we can keep this incredibly simple, with each raid having about 4 players, right? So if 2 or 3 raiding parties enter at the same time and compete for the ETH prize, like wagering it similar to what we'd do with Leviathan here, the crypto gaming communities would shoot up. This, like they say, first ever MMO esports. We know that World of Warcraft has been doing Mythic Dungeons esports for the longest time, so sorry Square, I'll shoot you there. However, in this fashion, maybe not. What this does remind me of, though, with, hear me out, because it's going to be a bit of a stretch, but as I choke a sec. What this reminds me of, 3 or 4 years ago, a game was all over Twitch. It was called Exoprimal. You had your tank, your DPS, and your healers and whatnot, but the whole goal of the game was to go through a level and just take out dinosaurs, basically. And there was a PvP component, because there'd be one team, or it'd be 2 teams oftentimes racing each other. And in some of the maps, there would actually allow for PvP conflict, so you can screw over other people's runs. And honestly, I'm curious if I can pull up some gameplay of what I'm talking about. I might not necessarily have it on hand, so I might just stop it for now. But I honestly could see a world where that exoprimal style in Illuvium, whether it be racing simultaneously where we're not screwing with each other, or allowing for actual PvP combat, if that ends up somehow becoming a thing, I would be in love, because personally I love Exoprimal. I hate that it died. And it'd be really interesting, just instead of the dinosaurs in Exoprimal, you're grinding through alluvials, whether it be moving a payload, or whether it be trying to take out specific targets. There's plenty of things that they can do. With that, of course, raid boss being possibly at the very, very end of the run. I can see a world where Illuvium can be positioned to have esports on multiple fronts, in which these alluvials that you would be catching could find more value. That is going to take a ton of work, however, and we don't know exactly what their late game vision is in mind. However, if it were to occur, I would absolutely be in love. But at the same time, let's not overextend ourselves. Please, take your time and do the vision as you see fit. I'm just one man wishing. But with that, we have cruised through our news portion of the day, so I'm going to pop open my Illuvium Zero plots here in just a moment's time. First question of the day here, kind of might have seen it through my scroller or my ticker down below, but One thing I have been kind of contemplating on is for the Illuvium sit and goes, or maybe even the Leviathan tournaments on during the week. If I had the opportunity to actually sit down and compete in one, would that be something that people want to see streamed? I do want to ask the question to the chat. It's not a guaranteed thing that'll happen, but I know on socials, a handful of people were asking, like, when do I actually plan on competing? Because I do play a lot of ranked. I nearly had a top 100 finish here this season, but fell off a little bit towards the end. Still my highest rating ever. But if it's something people would like, maybe it's something I can have happen someday. One second here. Alrighty. So some of the goals that I was doing with my Illuvium 0. One second. Get my blueprint checklist ready in case. First thing was I was aiming for Archelion drones and suits. I successfully on Tuesday was able to get it, so I'm very, very happy about that. Unfortunately, I blew through the news section so fast that some of these scanners are not even complete yet, so might have to make a return trip a little bit later. I'll collect my passive stuff in the meantime real quick. But was it this plot that had it? I'm curious. Yeah, so we did get the Archelion Bach drone skin. So I'm very, very happy about that. I do believe I already have one of my transducers pumping it out to the overworld as we speak. And then one of my other plots did manage to get a suit. So now I believe these are pumping out Kukuraf. I have nothing in regards to the Kukuraf yet. And we'll see if we get lucky. Whether it be drone or suit skin. Let's see if we do. No dice this time, but that's okay. We'll come back for the scanners in just a few minutes. Try and specifically click on individual buildings so I don't overflow my resource centers. Yeah, just like that. Alright, I hit the brick wall. So, no dice on this plot this time, but let's try a different one. This one, the scanners are ready, so we can take a look here. I'll claim my fuel. Knock out the 2 silicone ones. I'm still full up on the carbon. Now let's take a look at the science centers. So this one, I'm trying to aim for the Sephoruses. Trying to see if I can get either a drone or a suit. And we have the drone on the Hilda as well. Oddly enough, the same one that I have from the Tiantis. So, with that being completed, Sephorus, you're near the bottom here. That's the Chopin, I'm looking for the Hilda. There we go. Mission complete. So now I just personally would love to get a suit for it. Then I have one suit and one drone, and I'm happy. Fact. Blueprints. Nope, nope. And nope. We'll have to try again a little bit more for for those ones. Based off of my fuel amount, I can afford to spend on yet another set of scans. So I'll absolutely do that. See if we can pick up anything today. Looking for lynxes and looking for things tier 3 and above. No dice. Can't win them all. So that's a-okay there. We do got the Hilda though, for this forest, so with that I am pretty happy. Abyssal Basin, going to be the next one we're going to. Pick up my passive fuels. I think I am in a fine enough position to run both, but very similarly, this is why your road positioning is actually really, really important. The only reason this one's not done is because it is not attached to my road. Meanwhile, the other ones are, so unfortunate in that regard. Grab my carbon. See if I can just use my mines. There we go. Water, yes please. Maxed. Still maxed. Alright, I'm about as maxed out as I can be for now. How about our sciences? So for this plot in particular, I made a change. I was originally going for all tier 1s, but a personal goal for me, now that I had caught a hollow arcane flora lynx, I want to have a arcane flora lynx suit and drone to match and eventually try to find a way to take a picture with it in the arena. So that is going to be a goal for me in particular. So let's see how we do. Granted, one scanner is going to be out of commission, but how about the rest? No blueprint, no alluvial. No blueprint, no alluvial. No alluvial. Nope. 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 Not my lucky day today, but that's okay considering we got the 3 lynxes in the last stream. I was due for a couple of dud days, so that is a-okay. Final plot is not in position to actually produce any alluvials or or blueprints just yet. I'm just kind of working on getting my fuel production up and getting all of my pieces here up to level 4. I don't want to chop off any of these ones that are about to finish, so any of these ones that are 0 I will look to upgrade. There wasn't too many. There's one. You're still cooking, you're still cooking. I don't want to cut them off. This one's literally about to finish, but slightly mistimed. And bump one here. And so is there one more of these that happen to be at 0? This one's at 0 as well. Let that run. Let's convert some of these other fuels. Grab all my resources, and then we'll hop into the arena. Okay. In a few minutes or so, I will look to go back to the other plot there that had all of the scans still needed. There's about, what, 33 minutes, I think it said? So about 11:15 or so. Play one game of Arena, and then while I'm in queue for the next one, I'll see if maybe I can open them both up at the same time without completely destroying my computer. I'm just loading in a moment here. One thing I will also preface this with before we do get into the game, I am currently experiencing some pretty heavy thunderstorms once again here in the area. So if all of a sudden I disappear, the power got knocked out. So I just want to give the warning in that regards. And then I do see that I am still experiencing, granted very little, but there are some dropped frames on my end. My ISP still being an absolute legend, so I'm going to have to call them again. Oh, just reboot your router and just replug in all the wires, they say. That's how you do it, right? But yeah, so if you're experiencing any sort of lag spikes, that's not likely on your end, that is likely me. I happen to be wearing yellow today, so let's get our yellow suit on. And hop in the game. Battle pass for today, let's take a look at what we gotta do. A 5-round win streak, definitely doable, and I'm still pushing towards the rest of my missions. Next closest reward, of course, that I'm shooting for is this next drone skin. The Hilda Brightland Steps is around the corner. Personally, I really want to get to the Mozart. I like this one a little bit more of an emphasis on the green compared to the pink, and just like that design overall. But I, of course, eventually, within the 3 months' time, of course, got about almost 100 days to complete this, but I'd love to be able to get the battle board. While Brightland Steps is not my favorite location, I still think it looks great. So that alongside the Ranger skin would be nice. And then, however this ends up working here, I'm still very curious as to how this double points multiplier is going to work out, considering it's at the very, very end of the track, and you, in theory, don't need any more points. So, still things I'm trying to figure out. Close a couple of my tabs here so my computer doesn't spaz out. There we go. In regards to actually competing, so it is something that I've definitely thought about. However, I do enjoy casting more, so I will obviously prioritize that. However, if one of these instances happen where the time slot lines up to something that I can stream, maybe I could try and make a push and see, like, could I qualify if I wanted to? That might be kind of cool. Because the thing that I would always worry about is, like, what if, like, God forbid, I actually did do well enough to qualify into day 2 or into the main event, day 1, and then I have to choose between playing or casting. I'd obviously choose casting, but at least with the way that the format is set up so that we're always streaming the grand final, in theory I could actually make a push. And even if I did make into the round of 64, what are the chances that I actually make top 8? And that's where the main issue would happen. I say that and it would probably end up happening, but we'll see. It's something that's on my mind. I do still like competing, and I still do like playing the game at the end of the day. Alright, so Halcyon C going to be the round here for this one, getting one free stackable. This goes right alongside the kind of playstyle that I do like. We're level 5, I go nuts for Lynxes if they're available. Which Lynx is in the game this time? It's the Fire Rogue Lynx, which is one I do like playing, so this does make me happy. The option is there, but I have a lot of people that I'm rather familiar with. Kiribasov's in there, Conker's in there, Squawk from Team Monarch's there. I never know how to pronounce your name here before, Lance, but I see you pretty consistently. Gabby, Lutz, and Swints are new to me, though. But just because they are new to me does not mean that we sleep on them, not in the slightest. Okay, 2 blues. Let's pick up our old Guardian's Grid. And just make my Doka an absolute beefcake as possible here. Make you run away. Let's see, go around. I'm not too keen on playing fighters. I know in theory the possibility could have been there to pick up the Rye, but it is not a playstyle that I do like. Anytime I go for it, I usually get wrecked. My Doka's been basically free-firing on these guys. The tank and the support end up taking the damage. It works out nicely. We start off strong. Now to choose here. So this is, of course, I play a ton of corner style. Both of these are fine picks. I think the fire opens me up to more options though, so we'll move this over. Bring in the Totofi for a little bit of extra firepower. Was a little bit slow, but kept it in range of the Atipo. Is the Groko going to survive? It shall not. This time my Doka got absolutely wrecked. Tried to use it to kind of catch the Volente, and that did not go into my favor in the slightest. Zico, how's it going? Doing well over here, right? Hope all is going well for you. This little Tianzi is hanging on by a thread. Might be able to actually knock them down to 1. I'll take the hit, but at least it's just the 1 shot. Oh, the Scion style is calling for me, isn't it? I think it is. And there you are, my precious. Okay. Let's get this TNT temporarily jacked up as best as I can. I'm gonna take the Fling to start building my front line in just a second. Full-time Illuvium next month as a competitor? Or what you gonna be doing? That's pretty crazy. Hey, fair enough. I did see it was a bit of a quieter month for you overall. But that is a-okay. Can't be on fire all the time. Just getting destroyed in tournaments, but at least here's like at least you're in the top portion of the tournament, right? That's a victory in its own right. If you're pushing for full time, maybe that makes things a little bit different, but that's still quite the goal. Okay, everybody snuggle. There. Seeing the one player already having the links does get me a little bit nervous. Oh, we got a lot of links already on the board, actually. Might have to swallow my pride and just let them go this time. I'll hang on to the one that I have just to screw with them for a little bit longer, but at the same time, if I sold it, I could get an extra credit. Yeah, fluff it. We'll do it. This is just an NPC round, so I'm not too concerned about leveling up just yet. And slowly start building up my board in just a moment. But because I'm not going to be going for lynxes, I can save these free rerolls for my tier 4, tier 5 carries. I just have to not get beat up too badly in the process. Because that is one thing that I kind of struggle with. If I don't get my lynxes, my game plan does need work, to say the least. I tend to struggle a lot more if I don't end up getting them. They are my favorite for a reason. Okay, let's go for the cling. Getting the attack one does allow me some options with the possible Fury Furiox kind of style later on. Part of me is kicking myself a little bit. If I wanted to go for mages, getting that yellow one would have been nice. But let's see here. So I just gotta protect against that lynx. Catch you in the back line. I might just accept the L to kind of keep this lose streak going here. Max health damage is almost a must. I will 100% grab that and give my Cling some more additional HP. We'll call it there and let Squawk wipe the floor with us. That is fine. Double nimble links. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Trying to at least get 1 or 2 off the board here, but we might not even do that. Accept the pain. This will get me to level 5, and I'm getting very, very close to that max interest level. I'm playing extremely greedy right now. Just kind of what happens when I don't get my lynxes. I'm just not 100% sure what to really do. Getting an early Ador makes things kind of interesting, oddly enough. That may be something I want to try and do, question mark. Something like that. It's not going to win me anything right now, but I do like having the Ador. Yeah, I'm still going to be getting cooked for a little bit here. Almost fully loaded up. My rolls are not getting me anything interesting. That's all I'll say about that. My goodness. I haven't even gotten an Atlas or a Caribou. I mean, I could still probably go into level 6 relatively quickly, because you still get at least a decent chance at getting tier 1 units. Because optimally, to play the style that I like, I do need the 5 bulwark. I still have a stage 1 Groko. That's just painful. Very rarely do I ever get stuck with a stage 1. Oh, that Mammoth Shunt is making things awkward as usual, but it's okay. Archie getting completely clapped. Take 1 or 2 more off the board. That's a big old shield. Yeah, probably not going to break that. Did my Kling just do a little shimmy? Did you see that? Kling like does a stanky leg as it whacks my opponent. I do like the one that gives me healing, so I'm going to take that. Now I'm going to move in, get close to level 6, not going to be able to do it just yet. Maybe take 1 more shot to the face and then move from there. Let's see. They're struggling too to find any sort of Archies. Did any of these players end up getting full links? You're sitting there with like 2 of them, but not actually getting stage 3. But there are so many of them on the verge of it. Alright, couple low health bars. I mean, keeping them honest, we are going to fall still, but kept them honest in the end. Okay, the Omni Vamp is kind of nice, so is the energy regen. Wish I had the chance to look. Will it let me look? Oh, it will. Only 1. Do I just hard push for... I'm just gonna take the Omni Vamp, I think. Kind of chickened out of that one. The option could have been there. It's definitely the possibility. I was thinking more so towards the Scoriox, but there is still the potential for Steam. I do have the right weapon for it now that I think about it. Okay. Let's build these Scions. Take the Groko at the last possible second. Now we've got the level. Okay, 1 more tank on board. Make you Scion, make you tanky. Just every time they just get struck, or the shield, I'll take the shields this time. And let's keep pushing level a little bit harder. I need that 5th tank though badly. Can I find it? I can find it. Okay, we've got our 5 bulwarks, 3 Scions technically. Now I need my firepower, which oddly enough there's one right in front of me. I just gotta figure out if I want to go for it or not. I think I'll scoop it up. Alfie, one of my favorite units, but at the same time I know it's not necessarily the most consistent, so that does worry me a little bit. The fact that I did end up picking up the Omni Vamp on Takedown does scream Umber. Potential is definitely there for it. I don't like the dodge one, so even though I hate rolling every 3rd Omega, it's better than what we had beforehand. Okay. Pick this one up. Let's see, we've got dive, dive, dive. Okay. I was gonna actually get my Archie moved in, or not my Archie, my Alfie moved in, but considering that this is a dive comp with Rogue, I am just going to overrule that and everybody hold the line. TNT can hold the line with me here. I figure let's get level 8, get Alfie on the board, that'll give me 5 Bulwark or Scion. And then I can start rolling to really see who my carry ends up being. Whether it ends up being the Umber, whether it ends up being Alfie, whether it ends up being Squeeze, or some other Scion. That potential is always there. Gonna slowly but surely get chipped away here, unfortunately, but we did at least stop the bleeding for 1 round, but now 50 health is definitely a little lack to be desired. Now you show me the Caribou. Bugger. Go for Cling to get the evolution. Thankfully, Loots, I think, snags the Caribou on accident, so we'll take the Cling. Gives me Twine. So I actually have at least a little bit of a front line now. I say a little bit of a front line, even though I have 5 bulwarks. That's not a good phrase to be saying, I suppose. And now that we've got Eddie, there is some more potential here. So, from here to here, we now have the Wildfire procs available. Keep this guy relatively safe. They have a couple of rogues. This is not dedicated to rogues, but now this is Wildfire style. I should have probably moved over that Scion imprint to something that'll actually benefit a little bit more. My Archie just keeps getting killed. I need to replace that Archie right, like, as soon as I possibly can. Man, they're burning, but I don't have enough sustain. I don't have enough damage. Don't have a lot of anything at the moment. Got all these free stacked up shop rolls here. Might be time to make a play. Gotta move to the next level. This will allow me to get the Alfie online. Let's move over the to here. Let's put Scion onto Heck the Crunk because it'll be at least a little bit more valuable. Tuck Alfie in, so this is actually going to be a decent shot. More attack damage onto TNT because I can. Scoop up the final 2. Then going into this next round, I'm going to have to pray for some tier 5s, I think. Alfie, even with the augments, is not going to hurt that much. It's going to tickle them down. Thankfully, the front line is a little bit further away from their back line, so they didn't really get the Archos heal. But this Lynx, in theory, should still tear a hole through my team. My Alfie's not going to get a second cast off, so this is unfortunate. It is going to be down to my team versus the Lynx. I've got a Wildfire, but no, they got their ability off. Yep. I mean, at least it wasn't a painful hit, but definitely still hurts. Alright, scoop up as much gold as I can here. Getting the Furionx does leave the potential for Scoriox play. It's just so weird. Like, I want to be playing corner, but I don't have the sustain that you would normally need for a corner. I'm still running off of an an Archie with Ador support. I still have a stage 1 tier 0 tank with that Groko. What do we get? Do I want to... Oh, Christ. Stun, damage reduction, AoE. Okay. Because I don't think I have enough time, I'm going to end up going like this. Put it on you instead. Scion should be going over to you instead. What is this crate? Shield crates. We will take it for a bonus HP. Put it onto Twine. Actually, no, we don't want it on the Twine. We should probably have that over onto the Crunk, considering that we do have the wildfire capabilities. I have not rolled at all. I found a mammoth out of nowhere. I can't click my Archie because I positioned terribly. Kicking myself on many regards here. I wish I was faster. The ace flying immediately isn't necessarily a bad thing. It means that I get to target somebody in the back line. And as it stands right now, my team is holding the line. Thank goodness. We live another day. Okay. Messy and weird, but we'll see what we can do. And sell the tier 0s at 100%. Energy regen, let's get Alfie's shot off a little bit quicker. Ador coming out to play. Let's switch this camera angle so I can actually get rid of this guy, because they are just burning up a hole in my squad with us not being dedicated to corner anymore. Still want... Oh, actually, hang on a minute. Replace you real fast. Keep the tank here. Is there any divers here? There is not. Mammoth, join the squad. This guy's going for Octius, so that is going to be something that is off the board for me. This Alfie is going to eat me alive in just a moment's time, it looks like. Get rid of these tier 0s. Cupheady. I don't think we're going to just be able to raw dog tank this, but we're going to damn well try. Ador, what do you got? Good heal onto the Crunk, going to keep the fire alive for just a little bit longer. Good blind onto a bunch of them in the corner. I mean, we have a lot of low health bars, but the Ador is going to keep us alive just a little bit more. We might just scrape through this. Burn down from the wildfire. We barely scraped through that one. My goodness. Oh, thank God. Okay. Let's make that trade every single day. Okay. Let's roll. Alfie, join. Tier 0, get off my bench. I want the cling right now, not really. Let's squeeze this here, dash this here. Why are my rerolls not being free? That was weird. Okay. Or no, I hit the wrong button. I'm just all over the place. I did get the Furiox. What am I even playing right now? I can't even see the side, but let's see how this one goes. Alfie, we need your shot. Go through that Octius. Let's go. Come on, chop him up. It's a good one, but we're going to need one more front line. That Crunk's still good. Good little shunt from my Mammoth to send off. That's Lalura. One more time. Kamehameha all the way into the corner. Gets rid of the Octius. That's exactly what we need. Crunk is still alive just a little bit longer, but I'm worried about that Fernite in that back corner. Ador, we need your heals, and we need it quickly. Another good shunt. Alfie, what do you got in the tank, buddy? There we go. We're going to be able to sustain this. Dash is here to play, so is the Ebe. So now, where do I want to take this is the question. This is going to be greedy as all sin, but let's get it going. Bring my attack damage now onto Scorion, because I now have 6 Scion. I do need to be very, very careful about the damn Lynx. Area should dive right next to my flare. And we burn down this Lynx. There goes the Alfie shot right through pretty much all of them. Gonna get stunned up though. This Lynx has been an absolute nothing burger to our squad though. Our team in the backline is still extremely safe. Good Alfie shot. Again, just another Fernite in the corner. Seems to be the name of the game here today. Mammoth, you know what to do. Launch him on over. And we will clean house. We're living. Now I'm in a position where we've weathered the storm, and I still have plenty of free rerolls here that I can play with. I'm at the bottom. What can I get? Immune, energy, or just go for the leveled up Skurabak. The other option would have been maybe going for a dash, but even right now I'd be really forcing it. After damaging a shield, I could throw that on Scoriox. Or Furiox, rather. Is there something I can be doing better with my Ranger? This is huge. I needed that evolution badly. Because composition-wise, oh, hang on a minute. I might be an idiot. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't necessarily work. I'd have to replace one of those. I'm seeing myself with all these Scion imprints. I'm like, wait a second, why don't I just give the Scion imprint to the dash? But if I replace a Scion, I would not have enough. Shields. Healing. Fusion. Give me the one where I get attack speed, please. Yes, please. Beautiful. I have basically the perfect Scoriox now. And now we have a tank line. Okay. Scarbuck, come play. We're gonna burn the house down, why don't we? This gets rid of the wildfire, so I do not give a shit anymore if my, whatchamacallit, my Crunk stays alive for a very, very long time. Come on, let me replace one for one. A little bit of choppiness is making this a little bit weird here for me, but we do get the job done in the end. With the magma on board, this should hopefully help chip away guys a lot quicker. Now that that's a Sinolf, that's the damage that I am looking for. Okay, just burst through this damn Ranger, please. Crazy how much lifesteal that thing has. But, got the job done. Fusion item for next round, I absolutely could. Part of me is greeting really, really hard, though, and wants to wait and see if I can, get into the next NPC round. I could absolutely just do it now. I'm torn. I guess we'll make the move. Energy damage. And starting energy? I'm gonna make a quick switch here from the Furiox to the Sinolf. Was this the round to do it? I'm not sure, but so allow me to get this shot much faster. Come on, buddy. I mean, that beam's in a very, very good place, but they have so much damage, it is plowing through my squad. Can we out-sustain? It is close, but no cigar. We're now on death's door. Okay, I have these rolls. I might as well be going for them. Sell for the love of God. Here. Oh, hello, big guy. Oh, we got a Fisto. Yes, exactly what I was looking for. I need a shot onto that Fisto as fast as possible, but I leave my wealth exposed in the process. Where is the shot? It is going through them, but I do get bursted. They had a lot of shield, and it protected them very well. This should lead us to being just a bit short. Well played. Can't win them all. I feel like I had the right idea, just could not quite get it this time. Time-wise, we do have enough for one more, though. Can take my sorrows to the next match. This is something that as a player I definitely need to study though, because you can tell if I don't get the lynxes, I do not know what I am doing half the time. Like I usually then do kind of default into playing a corner kind of style, but even in that last game I was sitting on an Archie for so long. That's the kind of style I ended up playing. Eventually kind of tried something different with the Ador, but or the Adordo, but it didn't necessarily have the sustain I was looking for. I know one thing that is on my Illuvium Arena wish list is a replay system. We just got the spectator system, and that's absolutely huge, but I would love to be able to go back and see what I did wrong. I'm not even sure if that's something TFT has. Recommend rolling a little bit of golds at levels 5 and 6. Okay, so like saying those the instance where I had none of the Cariblues or Atlases that I would normally have, but I think I did have 2 Archies, for instance. Like, are you saying, like, try to at least get that middle evolution kind of thing? Just to make sure that I understand what you're telling. And I definitely welcome the recommendations and advice. Okay. Yeah, because I did take a lot of damage in that mid-game because I did not have anything that I would normally have. Oh, that makes sense. Still happy that I didn't come in last or like 6th and onward, but yeah, there was potential for a bit of a late game play, but I focused so hard on the late game that I didn't have enough life for it. And of course, those maybe just joining us now did kind of go over a couple of the tournament results, speculate a little bit on the fight for ETH thing. I'm curious of the viewers now if they have any sort of input on it. the thought of having some sort of wager battle system, some sort of money match system in Illuvium. Curious of people's thoughts about that. Maybe if that's what Leviathan ends up turning into, or each match has a little bit of an entry fee or something along those lines, and you compete that way. Personally, any sort of wagering does make me nervous, but again, let's be honest, if it's not in the game itself, there's going to be other sites that do it outside of the game. Definitely interested to see where that goes. And of course, this weekend, IPL 500, and then next weekend, IPL 1000. Absolute crazy couple of weeks ahead here. We were just talking about how Mito was doing solid in the Dreamers Ladder. Sure enough, they're in my lobby. And then one of our recent IPL finalists, Lynx PQP, in my lobby here. Region-wise, just all drone augments are stage 3, so we get the best bits, it looks like. Let's see if the components will turn my hand in terms of what kind of strategy I end up doing here. That's kind of what I'm looking for. We've got a lot of red. The Lynx in this game is Bulwark, so that does not really excite me too much. Of the Lynxes, I feel like the carry potential is the weakest with the Bulwark one. Immediately going for what used to be the Fate Sealer. I just love having the snowball effect with attack speed. Putting it on a Lynx early is probably pretty crazy, actually. Look at me chop through this damn Tipo. Tomorrow, I do believe there is a ranked reset. I know that was one of the reasons why the IPL actually switched from having some of these smaller tournaments be invite off of leaderboards or ranked leaderboards. Going for Earth Grasp. Two Scions on board. But yes, I do believe that it is supposed to be a ranked reset tomorrow. Yeah, Lynx just chops through these units early game so well. There we go. Now, because it is the tank Lynx, granted it's the Earth tank Lynx, so of the tank Lynxes, that is about the best one that you could possibly get. Kind of just like being burst healed, I'm not gonna lie. At the same time, I kind of like the nature. I'll take the item. Oh, it looks like we're gonna tank Lynx anyway. Screw it. I wasn't even gonna necessarily go for it. However, Riptor showing up is kind of interesting. Of course, I have a Riptor and a Caribou on my bench, so this screams toxic, but I do not have the weapon for it. Just need my ranger to cast one more time and we should have this one easy peasy. There it goes. Having all of these fighter augments is going to lead me more towards... Honestly, I should probably just use my strats from the past patch and try to go off of that. Okay, so with that, Scion can go away for now. Let's get a beefy squad mates here. You go here, you go here, you go here. You don't need to be here. Come on, let me switch. Was aiming for the 3 bulwarks. Gonna come up a little bit short this time, but that's fine. I'll get it for the next one. Tiru is literally like a nothing burger when it comes to a rogue, so I don't mind that they're just giving my ranger free charge, essentially. And now Riptor can go crazy. We will clean through this one. That does make me curious, though. I wonder if they did post it on the Discord about there being any sort of ranked reset. I might think that it's happening, but if it's not actually happening, that is a thing. Scoop these up. What do we get? Little tank, a little magic. And what is on the board here for me? Very strong start this time. I'm going to be one of the last picks here. I think I'd love to be able to snag a red one. It's the highest value red component alluvial that I could find, which as of right now would be that cling, which I would not mind. It's going to get scooped up, though. So in this instance, when in doubt... You know what? Oh no, I'll go for this to get the value. Can't go wrong with a little bit of extra tank. Put you on here. Use... Gives True Sight. I think I'll go for the True Sight. Tank line is spread. You can stay in the back. Let's level you up the once here. Who do I want to go up there? Let's just put Atlas there. Optimally, maybe I should give my Riptor a fighter buddy. Go, good little setup here. Beautiful shots coming on through from the Lynx as well as the Ranger. My Riptor's gonna eat the dust, but now the opponents have my Lynx right in their face. Even just gonna completely whiff the stun just to flex on them, apparently. The taunt stops the Omega come out from the TNT as well. Pretty much anything that could have went right in that one for me absolutely did. We love to see it. Probably not using this Winx. I was a little bit too slow, though, in order to get coins from it. Okay, a little bit of potential rogue diving, are we? Okay, big Lynx take majority of the heat. I'm gonna put Caribou back here as well to try and keep Riptor alive. Or Riptor alive. Actually gonna go after the fighter right away, so it's not too bad. Need that stun to come out from the links as soon as possible. Good shot. Riptor is still alive and well, going after their links. Tank's holding the line. Ranger is going to probably fall here. The Gorilla does what it does best, and it's just constantly finding squishies. But my Riptor has had all day to just fillet on this squad, so can't go wrong. One more little shanky shank there to take care of that Gorilla, and we are golden. There we go. A little bit of chip damage there onto that Lyra, and we're golden. Yep, there it is. Atlas is here. And I think to kind of make that adjustment, because things went so well, I haven't really been thinking about it, but I do want to have myself in a position where I'm not hurting too badly in this mid to late game. Been going fine so far, but I can't take this for granted. Going into this next round when I hit 70, Cryptor's gonna take the long way, are we? I'm going to try and at least get the second stage of my tank line and try to go from there. I don't expect to get a stage 2 Riptorus. But I can see now I'm already going to be snowballed upon, so if anything I probably actually should have pulled the trigger this round. But opted against it. Fleesh, I'm probably not using yet. The Omega Power, give me more damage. Actually, there's the Axon, so that's alright. I don't need any other tier 0s, so I'm going to bump up to one more level here. If my... Actually, no, I have 5 tanks right here. Put a couple of rolls. Now I am so torn, it's not even funny. Got the last second Harbinger on there, so that worked out nicely. Dash has come out to play. So I'm going to put Riptor aside for now. And we'll see which one I get leveled first. The last second survival there for that little Dash is going to eventually get turned on, though. I did not account for the 2 rogues jumping on my squad, but I still have a lot of healthy Illuvials here. Just means I'm going to have to whittle them down slowly. Not sure what I'm going to go for here with the Heady. If I can't find Blue one more time here and get leveled up to do Toxic, I don't think I'm going to worry about it. That's tempting, but again... Oh, hang on. This kind of makes my mind up for me, doesn't it? I mean, the attack speed is nice. This is nice. Oh, boy. I think it's going for Veteran. This definitely all ends on my dash. Is it just the one? No, it's 2 of them. I cannot be using Eve then. That'd be so stupid. Put that aside then for now. Yeah, buff your attack damage and Omnivamp and have an Eve on the board. Something that does not fight back at all. Fusion Crates. There is the attack speed one. After hitting a shield... Oh, let's try attack speed. Bring you on the board here. Now I'm going to pop that over. This dash is going to be as cracked out as I possibly can get it. I'm going to tuck in my Ranger to be in a bit of a pit. Because I know tier 4 is going to be my tank, we'll go for that. Until I do get another Caribou, just gonna swap this out. Have you go here. I did not necessarily have a good side either way. Either one, I'm going into a fighter, or I'm going into the empath. Actually, I forgot. Those ones aren't going to dive on in, so this ends up working fine. Dash, we need you to survive. Oh, God. The gorilla's going to get him, isn't it? Yeah. It tried to heal up, but that is a nasty exalted gorilla. I feel like my headspace is in the right spot, just not in the position to deal with that right now. Life drain, that's fine. We do now have the toxic available. And probably just swap out Groko for Heady instead. Do something like this. Add another water onto the board here with Riptor. 4 water, 3 nature currently. Actually, I wonder if I put you here, can you catch the Chikondi? Oh, there's a few here. Okay, this works out. Axon doing the tanking, Riptor doing the damage. Dash all the way up into the top. Can we get it to snowball? It's doing decent so far. Really need to take this Lynx out. The Chikondi is still alive, but we have a lot of high health bars here. Alright, the squad will hold the line. Beautiful. Riptor is on the board, but so is Heady. Heady's here twice, actually. I mean, Flare would be cool, but it is going to be taken away. Heady with water? This should give me Crunk now, I think. Unless I'm 1 Alluvial too early. And Kling is here, that's going to evolve. This would be the icing on the cake if I could get this fella. Okay, let's put you to the side. Let's add another water to Twine. And I was 1 too early here in regards to the Heady, so I'm not there just yet. I'm trying to think if there's any purpose for me grabbing the Flare right now, other than it's just the Flare and it's like a good unit. That Quink's really messed us around a little bit, eh? Damn. Thankfully, we still got the beef, so we're good. I mean, optimally getting this on the board would be my other tier 4 getting a bonus, so that would be valuable. There is the... Actually, is this better? And I don't have empaths, that's the only problem. What does it look like in regards to people using dashes? Nobody is going for it? Should have backed up a little bit more there, unfortunately. Okay. I push for level 8. Then start rolling. Come on, Dash. Hang in there. Oh, one more? No, it's not gonna get it. We weaken them so much and they don't have much health, but I'm probably gonna just whittle away to this magma. Unless the ranger can pull a miracle off. No, it's gonna fall. Okay, so yeah, that'll be the play, I think. Wait till after this PvE round is done. Gets level 8, that'll give me the best chance at hitting my tier 4s. And then I start chipping away with rolls, trying to find Furies, Ferns, or Dashes. Dashes for sure I need. My guys are actually just like locked out here and they can't even get into the fight. Whoops. Synergy-wise, we soak. Okay, energy, no thank you. Silence, maybe. Damage. Okay, water is now going to go onto Crunk as well. We do have the potential for a support one, but nobody really likes those. Gonna level ourselves up here. Let's bring a, while it's still low level, bring you on over. Let's put you here, give you some damage. We've got some time. Let's be rolling. Do I want to replace with the score box? It's making me think, making me make choices. I'm not in a position to be making choices. Fern is here. Okay, our toxic boy is here. Toxic combo is made. It's ready. How hard do I want to roll right now? Don't think that's hard, not yet. I don't have to anyway, I don't feel like. Optimally, I should probably have the dashes augments onto Riptorus now that it's higher level, but this might still work out nicely. We're picking off the backline quite quickly. 6 waters, everybody's firing off their Omegas very, very quickly, and we will clean this one up. My indecisiveness, though, is definitely killing me a little bit. Fire and Fury Hearts, that would be sick for... Oh, the pure damage, though. Oh, boy. Any chance I'll find something with Omnivamp? Scion again? Nah, I think pure damage is the way to go here. Burn is here. Put you to the back line. Let's move you here. You have a dive, buddy. We're going to now move every tank up. I should again move this ranger back at some point. At some point, I will remember. Getting that Fern onto the board does give me 4 nature, so I do have a bunch of passive healing alongside the Omnivamp here for Dash and for Riptor. Lion's going to take a good shot. Can we get to their backline? Archos, extremely low, will end up falling. Blood going to keep their squad alive, but now my Lynx gets to hop on board. Dash, we need to be untargetable. Will switch over, but this corner is making it so hard for my squad to actually get in. The only damage I have left is Fern and the Ranger, and I think they have just enough firepower to burn me down here. Damn, it was a good start, but we just ran out of gas. Very good defensive play here from Lynx. We got close, but not quite enough. Now, where are the dashes? I'm finding all sorts of clings, but what about Dash? There's one. Okay, finally gonna find it, my goodness. Okay, you go up here, you go up here. Tuck your tail. This now opens up the door for Steam. What am I doing? I don't have the right augment for that. I have Bloom, Mud. Raffy's gonna go up and tickle the squad. Gabby shall be eliminated. Now we actually have a team. This feels good. Doesn't feel amazing, but it feels good at least. Oh, Fern was there this entire time. I just completely missed it. Did I take it? Yeah, I took the Chuko. Whoops. Okay. Okay, Fern. Back here. Toxicology buddies, come on down. Tank over to Twine. A small roll. Okay, so this is awkward. I am going for a few too many things, I feel like. See, like I have this, that's pretty much good. I have the potential to go towards Scoriox, but at the same time, I feel like this empath style is just working that much nicer. Honestly, might be stupid, but this is working. Some good battles here for the squad. Looks like Dash is staying alive A-okay, which is good to see. Additional damage being healed up for them must be enough to get the job done. I'm incidentally kind of in a position to go for Rip Lance too. But Lakioki is the only one contesting me really for that. This is where I wish I can look back at my character and see what kind of alluvials I have, or components I have. Snagging the Alfie does allow for more Steam play later if we get there, but it's gonna sit on the bench for a while, I think. I don't think I have an obvious thing to trade for it. I'm gonna wait before combining anything. Let's take that off here. Something like that. Just an NPC around, we should be fine. See, what do we get? We've got magic. What is this? A strike. Stacking attack speed or percentage? I'm going percent. That can go actually to you. Fusion. To you. We'll give you back that. Maybe I can even go for the support later. Riptor's here. Actually gonna sell Alfie. Get one right back. One more roll and I'm gonna stop. Oh, there it is. Okay. This changes things. Thankfully, I still got augments that can work with Rip Lance. I was very, very worried if I went specifically for like magic or something, and then it ended up getting a Rip Lance, that I would screw myself. So that's why I went for fusion. And this is going to go into my favor, I think. Level 9 is probably something I should be looking towards, with maybe Alfie being on the board. There's a dash on the board now. Because Rip Lance is here ready to party, I'm gonna focus him a little bit harder. I want to give him the speed. Which one do I want to give him? I think we'll make you a little bit more supportive in nature. Toxic Fam could go here and dive this way for now. Yeah, you're going to be hitting the flood. That's fine. In theory, I can catch these rogues. Can Rip Lance tear through it before it tears through me? Let's take a look and see. Oh, going after my Fern pretty quickly. Good damage. There we go. Over to the Lura. Where is Dash? Dash has almost got that flood taken care of. Rip Lance taking a lot of heat, though. Finally got past the tank. Can finally support the rest of the team. Will end up falling, but Dash is still alive, but it's not the super carry that it used to be. Targetable, there we go, a little bit of pressure off. We need that Omnivamp. We don't have the Crackhead Dash this time, or Crackhead Umber, but we're gonna get the job done. Scrappy, but it worked. There is a Fern. Is there anything that I can do with another Earth for? Not really. Alfie, come play. Does anybody else have dashes? No. Part of me really wants to greed out for this dash and get Umber. Got a lot of bodies here. My Cardo, though, isn't even getting into the fight right now. Granted, I probably still had him positioned as a backliner. Yeah, we're just gonna run into a brick wall this time, it looks like. We made the podium, so I'm happy about that. Late game is where I struggle most. Let's see if we can pull this off. We have some coins. Dash is available. Nobody has it. Morning, Gear. And there they are. Let's. Oh my, we might get it. Oh, we do. Okay. Gonna make you the super carry then. To get steam, what do I need? I shouldn't be rolling right now. I should be trying to get... Okay, there's that. Let's see if this works. Feeling alright, Gear. How are you? All things considered, could be worse. I know personally, I get nervous anytime we have thunderstorms or any sort of rain, not because of the thunder itself, but of course the apartment that I have is very, very prone to having its roof leak. And it took our landlord 5 years. I literally had to take the to court in order to get it before. Why is my Lynx in the corner? So I always get nervous when it rains like this, but so far so good. We're alright. Alright, we have Sinelf here to play now. If we were somehow able to get another water imprint, that would be ridiculous. No, it's absolutely crazy. They just put it nicely. Cities have stuff in place to make sure people like that don't get away with things, but yet it took so long. It was absolutely absurd. So, a little on edge today. Want to hear the the rain and thunder behind me, but so far so good. Okay, Alfie, welcome back. Let's make you as tanky as I possibly can, because you're probably going to be my front line. Can I find... Or no, I already got rid of my twine, so it's just stupid to do. Let's, get rid of that. Alfie 1. Next Alfie. Next Alfie is here. I'm keeping that because I don't want to give him a chance at finding another. Umber, you need to be into a safe position. Toxiburrows over here. Ebb to go alongside the Fernite for a little bit of empath synergy may not be a bad idea. What would I replace though, and why is my Ripland sitting around doing nothing? There we go. Thank you, buddy. Get on in there. Come on, get those Omegas off, Dash or Umber. We need one more. We're not going to find it. All of my DPS has died. Seems like every time I go up against Lynx's squad, it starts off good, but then I run into a brick wall. Replace Fernite to go for that. Fair enough. That would be a play. Would eventually end up, or I would end up losing up the 4 nature, but at the same time it seems like I'm being out-sustained anyway, so I need to blow up this corner. It's gonna pass me yet another Alfie. For the possibility of maybe snagging a Dwelf, that would be nice to have. I can probably give this over the Riplance too. But that might be the play. Fernite's not giving too much there without items. Yeah, that's fair. My attack damage items are kind of split right now, so let's see. First off, let's give this damage to you. Personally, I always go for this, but I kind of just want to pack a bigger punch. Let's see if we can make it happen. Do I find an Ebb by chance out of luck? Not yet. I was scrolling so hard earlier I could not find it. I need to be repositioning my squad quickly. I think this is fine. Elimination shot here for whoever loses. Hopefully we keep things safe. That is a Malura in a decent spot. Sinalf will die. Dash is still alive in the background on their healers. Riplance is getting torn through a little bit. Really getting messed with by this Malura. Umber's still alive though. That Phosphorus though is really making things difficult. We will probably end up falling here. Unless Umber can pull off the miracle, which it's not going to, we will fall in third. So during my mass rolling when I was looking for other alluvials, I should have thought about the Ebb. For whatever reason, I was not thinking about Fernite. Getting it replaced. So that's kind of what caught me up here. This is a victory in itself, though. I'll gladly take the fuel. And this is why I cast not play. Well, actually, if I were to have gotten into the podium in an actual tournament, I would still be very, very happy. But we take that little bit of rating. GG. Definitely lots to think about. Playing is tough. But with that being said, we will be closing things off for today. We just hit noon, so our time slot is completed. But to just quickly, once again, go over what's been going on. Of course, in terms of events every week, there is the Leviathan tournaments that happen. Sit and go on Monday, competition main day on Tuesday. Tuesday does also have the free-to-enter version of the Dreamers Esports Tournament. IPL 500 this week is going to be pretty crazy. Sit and Go Friday, competition Saturday, competition Sunday. I will be on the Illuvium stream casting for those events or for the main event on Sunday. I will also be casting the early rounds here on my channel. And of course, if anybody wants to answer the question of the day, whether it be here or in the YouTube comments later on after the stream has gone offline, I would absolutely love to know if watching me actually compete in an IPL one of these days would be something you'd be interested in watching. Phosphorus still OP. I mean, here's one of the things. It's just if you get a tier 5 at stage 3, it should feel OP, if that makes any sense. And it needs to be the center of your attention. So I do agree that it's very, very, very strong, but again, it's so hard to actually get in the first place that I don't feel bad when I get run over by it, because it's supposed to be hard to get, but if you get it, you should benefit. Thank you, I appreciate that. So in terms of streaming for myself, you will see me on Saturday here for the IPL 500 cast of the early rounds. We'll start off with a round of 64, try our best to go to semifinals, and then on the Illuvium stream on Sunday for the grand final. Again, IPL 500 this week, 1,000 going into next week. So probably some of our most exciting weeks ahead of us here in terms of competition. So I definitely hope to see you get involved or tune in or just say hi or whatever. Well, happy to have you anyway. Am I playing in this one though? This IPL sit and go, unlikely. It makes things awkward because as if I actually would qualify, but in the instance that I do, I would feel bad qualifying and then saying, actually guys, I'm not going to enter, or on the contrary, hey guys, I want to play, I'm sitting out a casting. That would be just an odd spot to be in. So I probably won't be playing, but we will see maybe sometime down the line. Absolutely, Gear, we absolutely shall. I mean, I know I technically already do both. As I'm playing, I know I'm casting the fights for the most part as they're going down, unless I'm too busy with gears turning in the head. Basically kind of do that already, but that would not be fair to the rest of the casters if I somehow got into grand finals. God damn it, Gear. You know what I mean. I don't mean you personally. Yeah, lunch break for me. Then it's off to doing some editing. Gonna do some clips here for Illuvium actually here in just a couple of moments. Yes, I would expect absolutely nothing less. There would be something wrong if you weren't teasing me somehow. Fair enough. But again, shall call it a day for now. I will see you on the weekend for the IPL 500.